is up? Happy New Year's to everybody.
Yes, sir.
It's we here in 2020 representing January 1st. You know, I'm Blaze Jays. I'm here with my man Jordansky.
What's going on with y'all?
Yes, we are in the motherfucking building. So, hey, we just coming with content, man. We coming every day. We like Lil Wayne back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Dropping mixtapes every week. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it is out here. First things first, R.I.P. to David Stern, man. It's terrible. We didn't mention it on the show, but he had some type of brain, something happened. He was hospitalized and he passed away today. And, man, it's tough. It's tough. I didn't really have any opinion on David Stern as a commissioner. I didn't either like him or dislike him. But he was commissioner for a long time. Was the commissioner over the most successful period in the NBA, helped grow the league, or was the commissioner when the league grew, so he took a part in that. And, man, yeah, it's terrible. You know, he was 77, and you hate to see it happen, but unfortunately he does. So, R.I.P. to David Stern.
R.I.P. David Stern.
Yeah, you would definitely...
And condolences to the Stern family, too, because that's tough to lose somebody that's near and dear to you in the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, man, January 1st. And, you know, he was hospitalized and everything, but, man, it sucks. It sucks. The second thing is, and kind of getting to the boxing a little bit, man, what about, you had posted an article that Eddie Hearn wants to raise the price of DAZN to $50?
Like I said, if he does, I will cancel my shit.
What is he doing? Like,
it's probably, of course it's a business. Business is business, so it's... Everybody say business ain't personal, but it is personal. That shit's personal, for real. No matter what, it's personal. $20 is okay, but this is my beef with it, and why I say it's personal. As a boxing fan, just getting back into the sport, and like, man, it's been an exciting year. 2019, it closed out on an epic, with an epic match. Gervonta Davis versus Gamboa was a pretty decent way to end out. That whole card was decent. That whole card was decent. And Pascal and Jack, that was a great fight. More like a fight of the year candidate. With my problem with DAZN is that you're raising to $50 a month, but okay, you got Pat, I believe it's McAfee on that on DAZN. He does a show on there. Then you have other shit. Every time I turn on DAZN, I see some reruns and darts. Right, I don't want to watch darts. I'm not paying $50 a month to watch that shit. Maybe there's some people out there that love to watch darts and want to pay $50 a month for it, but no, I'm not doing that. Just can't do it. Like, won't do it. Like, that's just fucking crazy, man. Whoever's in his office and whoever's talking to him, that like you should
told him that that's a good idea.
No, unless you're about to pump out some epic content where it's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna have box on this joint every day. Like, we're gonna have different stuff on here every day. We're gonna have more live content on there, and we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Then no,
bruh, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you gonna do some shit like that, bro, you better have boxing on that bitch 5 to 7 days a week, 6 days a week. Yeah. I mean, you can take Sunday off. I need boxing on Monday. I need boxing on Tuesday. I need boxing on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I need boxing 6 days a week at the minimum. If motherfuckers is gonna charge $50. And that's crazy, and I'm not even one to, like, try to stream the fight or do anything like that. I mean, preferably, I'm the type of motherfucker that, you know, I'll pay the money for a big fight. You know what I'm saying? I'll get DAZN or I'll get whatever to try to make sure to watch the fight. But when you're charging $50 a month, and nothing's confirmed, not saying that they are going to do it, but just even think about that, like, bruh, I'm with you, son. I'm going to be streaming the shit out of these motherfucking fights, like, or watching the next day on YouTube. You feel me? Like, motherfuckers ain't got time for that. I can just read about the fight the night of, and then the next day watch it. Like, alright, if you want to be on some bullshit like that, like, Bama's will find a way. We always find a way, because we watch all the big fights. You feel me? So, hey, if he want to do that, I'm with Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Cancel that shit. Cancel all that bullshit, and we're gonna find a different way to watch the fight, because Bama's don't want to pay $50 a month. That's ridiculous. $600 a year. $600 a year. What?
No way.
Shit. You might as well go back to that. You know what I'm saying? That's why the stream. You know what I'm saying? That's why HBO and Showtime kind of fell out, like the whole pay-per-view model and the streaming sites, because, you know, Bama's got tired of paying $60 a fight, you know, since $70 a fight, $100 a fight, theoretically, if it was Floyd Mayweather. Bama's got tired of that shit. And so, $50 a month. You crazy. You tripping. And that's why, and I think you said it, that's why Bob Arum made the statement that Eddie Hearns doesn't know boxing. Bro, where did this motherfucker come from? What was he, a darts promoter or something? I don't even know if they got promoters in darts. I don't know how darts works. But where did this motherfucker come from? Like, oh, man. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. They do have Bellator MMA on there, too, which they just had Fedor versus Rampage Jackson. And Rampage Jackson came into the ring 260 pounds. Bro.
Isn't he like 45 years old?
I don't know, but he was 260 pounds. He was way overweight. And he even apologized and said he's going to come back strong and have his weight under control. Good for him, man. But at the same time, it's like you don't have major events every month, or you don't have major events every other week on there. So I'm not trying to pay $50 a month for it. And that's that. I'm not speaking on that again, because he's ridiculous.
Yeah, fucking terrible. So forget Eddie Hearns if you're thinking that, and don't do it. And whoever's telling you to do it, they tripping. Do not do that. That would be the worst decision ever. So because you'll lose a lot of loyal customers who wouldn't mind paying the $20, but to raise it up 2.5 times.
Well, I would even pay fucking $30 a month if he was.
Yeah, I mean, if we gotta meet him, you know what I'm saying, meet him out there, 30 would be alright. Maybe 25, 20. Maybe don't make more than 25.
30, because if they're gonna be pumping out more content on there, then I will pay 30. I pay 20 because of what you provide. That's
exactly. Canelo fights, Joshua fights, different
they don't
things.
Come on all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not on every month. So
right.
There you go. I'll pay $20 for it. I'm not paying 50. If you got a big fight every month on there, then yeah, I got you. I'm paying 50.
Bro, they don't gotta be a big fight every day. I need fights 6 days a week. I better see boxing.
You're right. You don't gotta be a big fight every day.
I need boxing every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers get bored in the afternoon. You're like, oh man, what time of boxing match? Come on, like that's how I'm trying to be. Like, anything else is fucking ridiculous. So, Jordan, did you see the football games today? There was not the Alabama game so much, but that Oregon-Wisconsin joint was off the chain.
The Oregon-Wisconsin game was a great game.
It
was competitive. Both teams were playing good, and it was a back and forth contest, and I loved every minute of it.
And I bet on Oregon. Hey, I knew that dude Justin Herbert was gonna get it done, and hey, he's probably gonna be top 10 pick.
He's a good quarterback. Ain't gonna lie, he got slept on though, but he's a good quarterback. But the Alabama-Michigan game, man,
it was a close game until the end. And Alabama kind of opened it up.
And maybe it's time for Michigan. Maybe it's time for them to move on from Harbaugh.
Ooh, that's a big statement.
It is, maybe though.
I mean, they're a good program. They just can't beat Ohio State. They've lost their last 4 bowl games now. Man, it's
just like the NFL, man. It's like, all right, you made it to playoffs, but you made it to playoffs 4 times, but you keep losing in the playoffs.
First round.
You keep getting out there where it's like it's not happening, or
at a certain time you aren't reaching the players, and people always said he didn't have a quarterback. That was always the excuse people made at Michigan. Well, he had Shea Patterson this year. I mean, it just seems like they couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't beat those good teams. And hey, man, it's tough because the Big Ten Conference is really good. Besides Maryland and Rutgers.
I mean, you can get that argument for him that the Big Ten is a really tough conference. At the same time, it's like, so, what can you? But that's why you recruit.
That's why we brought you here to beat Ohio State, to beat these guys. Like, no, I definitely understand what you're saying. So, it's tough. I don't know which side I'm on. If they did fire Harbaugh, it wouldn't totally shock me. I don't even think I'd be against it totally. I mean, if they wanted to bring him back, I'd be cool with it, I guess. I mean, I could see it either way.
I'm pretty sure they are going to bring him back.
He's probably still in the contract.
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure
they don't want to buy him out.
And I'm pretty sure they're not going to just let him just give up on him that easily, that quick. He's been with the team for
like 4 years.
Yeah, so he's not going to
maybe 5, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Give up on him that easily, but at the same time, it's like. It's kind of like a Cowboys and Jason Garrett situation. Like, dude, you got.
I feel like that's a little bit worse though.
But no, I'm saying in a sense, when you got that talent and you're not producing, by winning bowl games or not. And so you've been there for 4 years and you lost 4 bowl games. So that's 4 straight bowl games.
And he was there for all of them.
And you got talent. So it's the same situation. You got talent in Dallas, and Jason Garrett's not producing. So you're not resonating with the players. So what's going on? You're getting there, but you're not resonating. So you can't complete the full cycle. So it is the same situation. In my view, I think that's the same situation, and it's not as severe as it is in Dallas as it is in Michigan, but it's the same situation, the same likelihood. These guys are not resonating with the players. So maybe he's still under contract. Okay, give him that time in that contract. Maybe let's say he has 1 more year. We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna say, hey, listen, man, you're an excellent coach. We know that, but what's the problem? Where's the disconnect at? Why aren't we winning bowl games? Why aren't we winning those tough matchups? Why are we losing matchups we shouldn't even be losing? That's another question they gotta ask themselves. Is it the recruits? Is it the lack of recruits? Can't be that. Michigan sells itself.
Yeah, Michigan.
It sells itself. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You sell
class.
yourself. So that can't be the problem. X that out. What is it? What is going on? So then you got to say you're not resonating with the players. Where's the disconnect at? There's a disconnect there. So you got to find a disconnect. They're making it to bowl games, but they lost 4 straight. So where's the disconnect at?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know his contract situation.
They haven't even been in the top 10 in the last probably 4 years for real though. And you gotta think about that too. Like, what's going on?
They're a good.
They're a good program, but it's Michigan, bro. When you talk about
if Maryland was in their position, we'd be hooting it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh hell yeah!
But we're not Michigan though.
Yeah,
Michigan's a different.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a different thing. When you think about Michigan, you think about prestige. You think about
Charles Woodson.
Yes, bro. Like you think about Desmond
Brian
Howard.
Greasy,
You talking about
Tom
people,
Brady,
man. Bro, you talk, son. This is crazy.
Yeah, Michigan's Bo Schembechler and Lloyd Carr.
Yeah.
History. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So it has to get back to that Michigan way of playing. You gotta resonate with them players. There's a disconnect somewhere, and I hope he can do it because Michigan should be one of them top programs, bro. They should be a top 7 program. Like,
yeah,
they should be. It should be a top 7 program.
Yeah,
just keep
year in and year out, like average. Like
yes.
They should be always in the discussion, and it seems like they kind of have under Harbaugh at least have kind of been known for kind of being always coming up short. And hey, man, just a thought. Maybe because Harbaugh was great at Stanford and Harbaugh was great with the 49ers. Maybe like. And, he's a Michigan alum and everything, and that's kind of why he went back, and that was part of it. But maybe he's good being kind of the big fish in the small pond, like, or good at a school like Stanford. Maybe that was a bad comparison, big fish in a small pond. But maybe he's like good at schools like Stanford, where the expectations aren't up here. But when he goes to a place like Michigan and the expectations are up there, he's not good enough to get his team over.
I understand what you're saying, but then again, like that's not man. That's not good enough.
Maybe I'm saying that maybe he needs to go to a smaller school.
But
maybe he's not a good enough coach.
Okay, then he's sorry. Then we're saying he's a sorry ass coach that can't coach when he has so much talent. And so you can't. You got all this talent.
But the other competition, the other teams have talent too.
Yeah, but you have talent too. You have top tier talent. So you got top tier talent. You tell me you can compete with these other teams that got top tier talents because you're a sorry ass coach. Why the fuck are we? So why are you even coaching? What's the point?
I mean, I don't know. Just playing devil's advocate.
I understand that. That's not. No, that's an excuse. He's here. You're at Michigan. You're here. You do what you got to do. You got the talent. You got the. Fuck it. You want to be real, they got the money where they can grow their talent. They are a goddamn powerhouse school. They are a legendary school. They have history. They have prestige. They have to get back to that. Mm-hmm. It's just like people talking about Penn State. God rest his soul, Joe Pa.
That was like my grandfather.
God rest his soul.
I actually saw him on TV. Yeah, they're showing clips about that whole situation.
Yeah, God rest his soul, Joe Pa. It's just like Penn State. Get back to, you can always say, like, what happened to Penn State's prestige? Like, what happened to, what's going on with Penn State? I mean, they've been turning around the last couple of years, though.
They just gave Franklin an extension.
So, yeah, and they've been turning around the last couple of years.
They've been better than Michigan.
They've been better than Michigan. They have. That's what I'm getting point to. Like, they've been better than Michigan. So, man, I don't know. I was shaking my head because when we were coming up, I would never see a school like Wisconsin being better than Michigan, bro. I never seen schools like Utah being better than Michigan and nothing like that. It's crazy. Times do change. I'm not saying that I'm stuck in the past. I gotta stay the same, but I'm just saying it's John Harbaugh. He is a former NFC champion.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh. Sorry, my bad. I get mixed up.
John Harbaugh's the Ravens.
And he's the better Harbaugh. So he got Jim Harbaugh, who's a former NFC champion. He's been to the Super Bowl.
Former player was a decent quarterback.
Yeah, okay, decent quarterback in the league. And he also been to the NFC Championship game twice. Mm-hmm. So he knows how to win. He knows how to get there.
Went to the AFC Championship as a QB.
See, he knows
so he's
how
been
to
around
get
the block.
There, but there's a disconnect. I'm not even saying he's not a bad coach. John is a better one, but he's not a bad coach. I think he's a great coach. It's just there's a disconnect, and there's something that's not resonating with those players. If you got, like I said, 4 bowl games, that's great. You went to 4 bowl games, but you lost all 4. So where's the disconnect? There's a disconnect somewhere, man. And then, you know, if you look at their records while he's been there, this is probably one of their best seasons with a record. Record-wise, probably one of their best seasons. And from that I know of is one of their best seasons record-wise, if I'm not mistaken.
This is probably one of the best they've been because they finally got a quarterback.
So there's a disconnect then. That's a disconnect. So hopefully he's able to this spring and this summer, hopefully they're able to connect, get these guys ready, and do their thing. And my suggestion is the first game of the season should be a squash opponent you know you can romp. Yeah. Like, so you can build confidence, and then take a cupcake the next game, because you're gonna need. And I mean, well, let the where the fuck that schedule go, but number 1 game should be a fucking romp fest, so you can build confidence, man. You got to. And in recruiting this year, you gotta do some recruiting. You need a quarterback. You need a running back, and you need another wide receiver. So get your shit together and get it going, because Michigan should be at the top.
Yeah, I feel commitment day, or signing day, was a couple weeks ago, and I don't know where Michigan's recruiting class was, but they're always.
Hopefully, you got a quarterback, a running back, and a receiver.
Yeah, definitely. Michigan, definitely, and maybe this year might be a make or break year for Harbaugh. You never know. If he doesn't get fired after the season,
I think it is a make or break year for him.
Yeah, going into this next year. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Before I get into talking about Tua, because I had some news about him coming up. I was going to ask, so what do you think about, like, because you know me, like, if I mess with Maryland, I used to like Nebraska when I was younger. I used to like the Cornhuskers. Like, I always liked them. Like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. Eric Crouch is my favorite college quarterback ever. I loved Eric Crouch. I just loved what he brought to the game, and I wish he would have got a chance in the NFL. I mean, part of it was on him, part of it was on the teams. But imagine him in, like, today's systems. Eric Crouch, oh my goodness. The motherfucker would be like a Kyler Murray. Like, not as good as a passer, but running
I think he would be a good passer too. Shit.
Yeah, man. Eric Crouch was a monster. But if you look at his passing stats, they really weren't that good. So I don't know how he would have transitioned. I don't know. But hey, he was a good player, and I wish he would have got a chance. But what do you think about Nebraska though? Because they've fallen on hard times too. They did better than Maryland this year, and they romped Maryland when they played them. They beat them. Breaks off of us. This shit was sad too, because I'm kind of cheering for both sides, but I thought it was going to be a good game. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think about Nebraska? I think they went 5-7 this year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but you know they've kind of hit some down times too.
And that's just in that.
Do you think Scott Frost is doing a good job trying to bring the program back? I think this was the second year that just passed.
I forgot. What happened to them the first year?
They kind of sucked initially, but then they won a couple games. I think they won 4 games the first year and then won 5 games this past season.
And that's improvement.
It is.
It's improvement. He's trying to change the culture. He's trying to get them back into winning culture. The same. My message for Nebraska is the same as it was for Michigan. You got to get back to that winning culture. You're Nebraska. You're the Cornhuskers. People your team used to be known for shutting shit down.
Nebraska.
Fucking who's the defensive lineman from Nebraska? Who played
Adam Carricker.
Who came out from Nebraska? It wasn't Adonican Sue.
Adonican Sue.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
yes.
Yes.
You produced me.
Oh, bro, Nebraska.
You produced fucking y'all
Adonai
produce
Sue,
Eric Crouch, man. Y'all produce Dr. Sue.
Green, the running back for the Packers. He went to Nebraska. They got a couple guys in there. I'd have to look at the list of Nebraska
Yeah, but
players.
what I'm trying to say is get back to winning culture. You got to get back, and it's going to be because since Nebraska has fallen off in the last probably last 10 years.
Yeah.
Since they have fallen off the last 10 years, it's been hard. It's probably hard to get recruits. You got to get back into that winning nature because you need those recruits. You got to start. The same thing as in Michigan. You just gotta start winning, man. Get back into that winning culture. And I know it's easier said than done, but you gotta get back into that culture. You gotta change that mindset because there was a disconnect in Nebraska, but I think Scott Frost is doing a good job closing that gap. 4 games to 5. Who's to say next year they'll probably jump up to 8 games? If it's improvement. And my hats off to them because I know they were happy from the improvement. Those guys that were there the previous year before he came, I know they were hurt. Like, they were hurt. And then he came in. And Scott Frost, after the year, I remember Scott Frost saying that how he was disappointed in himself and he let the guys down. But from 4 games to 5 games, man, hats off to you. That's improvement, even though you went 5-7 still. Hats off to you. It's improvement. Hopefully you're able to compete next year and do your thing. That's what I hope for Nebraska. But who's to say? College football is tough, man. College football is tough.
Yeah, it definitely is. It certainly
Nebraska
is.
plays in the Big 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Big 10.
The Big 10.
Yeah. They're with Maryland
I'm
and
saying
Rutgers.
Big 12, that would be worse for them. They'd probably get
That's what they used to be, and I think
oh, that's right. They got.
Yeah, they
switched
moved.
around.
They moved to the Big 10, and it was a bad decision. Like my guy Pharrell, we talking about that shit. He doesn't really go in Maryland as much. I guess he gives them passes, but Rutgers and Nebraska are the two. He says those are the worst moves he ever did. Rutgers coming from the Big East and Nebraska coming from the Big 12. And anyway, it's tough. It's tough out here. Maryland should never have left the ACC. That shit was fucked up. But hey, speaking about Nebraska being down about 10 years, you know what I kind of think, where I think Michigan's never kind of really recovered from was losing to Appalachian State.
Oh yeah, they never.
It's been 12 years, and they
I don't think the program,
13
the
years.
school. I don't think people are like the staff. Everybody's probably like, man, we lost to fucking Appalachian State. And you know, Appalachian State had a fucking better record than Michigan this year.
Of course, they played less.
Doesn't matter.
They don't play the quality.
So what? They still had a better record than Michigan this year. Fuck that. I don't care. They still had a better record than Michigan this year.
I mean, there were a lot of teams that had a better record
There
than
was,
theirs.
man. But we talking about Appalachian State and Michigan.
I
they have not. And I'm saying that because look at Appalachian State from when that time, 2007, and look at Michigan.
And where they are. Appalachian State has grown tremendously. And Michigan's kind of been stagnant.
Michigan has flatlined a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, with Harbaugh there, they got their pulse back. They just got to get over that hump, and they just got to keep going. But that's a big difference now. Like, I think the Appalachian State beating Michigan changed them. Like, oh man, we can do this shit. We just beat a D1 powerhouse. We about to do this shit. And you know what's funny? That year Michigan was a national championship contender too.
They was ranked number 5 going into the season.
National championship.
I remember that day.
I remember that shit from like everything because I was amped up for that.
Clearly remember that day.
2007. Who was because I was amped up for that year. For some reason, I was so pumped for that year.
Florida had won the national championship the year before.
Yeah, that's why I was pumped
State,
up, man. I was pumped up.
And 07 was a crazy ass football season too.
That was a crazy ass.
Where you remember everybody was losing, all the top teams was losing. Like, it was a wild year, and then Kansas and Missouri were fighting it out to play in the national championship. It was wild, and I think eventually Ohio State lost to LSU. I think that's how it all happened. But it was a wild ass year. But that first game, I remember I'm sitting there watching TV, watching ESPN, and they said Appalachian State is up 14-0 in Michigan. I said, Appalachian State is up 14-0 in Michigan. I turned the game on, and I didn't watch the whole thing. Like, I was running around doing shit. We was, 16? Like, look, you know what I'm saying? Kids for real, like teenagers. But I remember seeing the end of the joint, and I think they blocked the kick. Michigan was about to kick the field goal to win the game, and they blocked that joint. Yeah, I remember. I was like, wow. And Michigan hasn't really recovered from that shit.
They showed that joint on ESPN for a week straight, bro. That shit was funny.
I know. Oh my god.
They have not recovered. So, hey, man.
Yeah. It's tough out here. So
13 years ago, get over it.
Yeah,
Damn.
that type of shit can last. I was seeing. Speaking about the Michigan Alabama game, I saw Tua on the sidelines today, and I think it came out today that he said he was going to make his decision January 6th, whether he wants to return to school for senior year or enter the NFL draft. And I was hearing that some people close to him said, and it's all speculation. I don't know 100%, but some people were saying that he might come back.
Oh, I heard that.
Or maybe they were saying it during the broadcast. Or I don't remember where I heard it. But
no, I've heard that before too.
That he might come back.
That he was thinking about coming back. Which I think that in his situation, I don't know, maybe he should, or maybe he shouldn't. I think that he shouldn't because he's getting injury prone now. He's gonna get that tag. If he gets hurt again, he's done, son. And
might as well just
go. Yeah, that's what I think. So for real too, I think he should just might as well just go. But I think that in his mind, he's probably thinking because of that hip injury, he had automatic surgery. He's probably thinking, man, maybe I should just come back because maybe my draft stock might have failed. I think his draft stock failed.
And they said he's scheduled to graduate in the summer, and they said that means a whole lot to him. So if that's a big deal to him, he wants to stay, come back for his senior year, so he can graduate in August and then go out and play the season. I don't know. I'm cool with either or. If he wants to come back and win a Heisman and graduate and do all that, that's dope. If he wants to enter the NFL draft, I feel him. I feel where he's coming from. Might as well strike while the iron's hot. Or not hot per se, but you don't want that bitch to cool off anymore. You feel me? Like, because we was talking about tank for Tua, and now it's Joe Burrow, Chase Young time for real. And shit, Herbert might even go before Tua. I was seeing a mock draft that had Tua going 5. And I was like, man, I think Justin Herbert might actually go ahead of him, like with his hip injury and everything like that. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for April. Or when's the draft? In May, April, sometime in that time span.
Man, it's gonna be tough. I think hopefully he just comes out. Let's go out because you don't want to risk that. Just like you don't want to risk that possibility of getting hurt. Who did it? Joey Bosa did it. Joey Bosa sat out his senior year. I think he got hurt, and then he was like, "I'm not playing no more," so he stopped playing.
Yeah, at Ohio State. Yeah,
smart. I know a lot of people were upset with him. Me personally, that was smart because he got hurt. And he's like, "Oh, fuck that."
Because what happened, and remember, Christian McCaffrey, and Leonard Fournette got a lot of flack for they didn't play in their bowl games, and people was like, "Oh, this is gonna start a trend," because they were trying to get ready for the draft and everything. And remember what happened to Jalen Smith for the Cowboys? Remember he played for Notre Dame and he got hurt in the bowl game against Ohio State. Missed his whole rookie season off that shit. His draft stock, he became, I think, a second-round pick, and he was supposed to be top 5. You feel me? So, yeah, I can see either way. But, man, Tua might be like, bro, I want to come back. I'm trying to win a Heisman. I'm trying to graduate.
That's what I'm saying. Because they also said that shit about Chase Young. They said Chase Young.
He said that, though. He was actually the one who was saying, I'm thinking about
returning back to Ohio State.
Man,
so I don't think that he's going to do it either. I don't think
that would be ridiculous.
I don't really think that he's going to do it. But
and I'm not even saying
the only way that I think that he's going to do is because he thinks that he has a chance to get the Heisman Trophy. That's the only way.
As a defensive
player,
I
know, but that's the only thing that I think that he's going.
And maybe he wants to win a national championship.
And maybe that too, but. If he does come back, my hat's off to him. You getting your degree, you doing your thing.
Nah,
at
that's
the same
stupid.
time, that's stupid though. Because his draft stock can drop too. Like, bro,
you're the projected number.
You're top 2. Like, come on, get your money, man.
If Tua was going to go number 1, I would say, bro, definitely go. Like, run, leave school. Fuck that shit. But nah, man, Chase Young's tripping. He needs to go. But I can understand with Tua though. You feel me? So,
but if Chase Young want to get a national championship, I don't care. Go back. Man, you saying that because you a Redskins?
Nah, I'm not, because I just don't think you can improve your stock anymore. The only thing you can do is go lower.
Shit,
you feel me?
I don't know
because
if he, I never really hear about him. I mean, he's been hurt like once. I never really heard about him getting hurt before. Besides that one time, but. The way he plays, like, this kid could probably, if he came back to school, I mean, and just start sacking Bammers and end up getting, like, fucking 45 sacks in a season and shit.
He wouldn't do that.
I know.
Well, maybe he's got 25, though. Wouldn't that be wild?
Sack, like some wild sack number. I'm like, oh, shit, this nigga is a beast. excuse me for my language, y'all, but this motherfucker is a beast. And like, that shit would be crazy, man. Like, that shit would be crazy, but I'm all for whatever their decisions are. For me, I think both of them should go out. Two of the reason why is because you're already hurt.
You don't risk lowering your stock.
And you know it's
anymore.
crazy, and this is another thing. It's if you get once you get drafted, the team is going to take care of you, and they're going to be rehabbing you like shit. And it's going to be better than you and your family using healthcare, paying for this shit. Maybe the school's helping y'all pay for it, but it will be better if you got the NFL team doing it. They got NFL doctors, and they're the top-notch doctors. So just might as well go out.
And you can always go back to school. I mean,
If
your
you
credits
fall,
ain't going
you're not
nowhere.
gonna fall out the top 10. I don't think he's gonna fall out the top 10.
I don't think he's gonna fall out the top 15, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens and everything. So,
Never know. He might go to Miami.
man, they ain't gonna pick him one. They gonna pick Burrow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But
No. Cincinnati's picking Burrow. I'm thinking Miami had number 1 pick. Miami does have like the 5th pick. They could, but they probably gonna take Herbert though. Like I don't know. I could see Herbert going ahead of.
Miami going to 2. I'm about to look up the draft order. I really want to see that.
Go ahead. You can look that joint out. But yeah, should be fucking interesting though. Just to see. I can't wait for the draft. You know that joint's gonna be tough. And I was shocked when Daniel Jones when it was the number 6 pick last year and fucking Haskins fell to 15. Like I was like, yes sir. They got the joint.
Let me look. I picked up. I heard. No, that's not it.
It looked like the first one was right.
The first one was here you go right here. So number 1 is Cincinnati, then Washington, Detroit, the Giants, Miami, the Chargers, Carolina, and Arizona. So Arizona, and then you got Jacksonville with 9, Cleveland with 10. The Jets got 11. 12 is Oakland, Indianapolis 13, Tampa Bay 14, 15 is Denver. Out of all them joints, I see him if he falls. I really think he ain't. Like I said, he's still a top 5 pick. Because who need quarterbacks in this draft for real? You got Detroit, who might be trying to find Matt Stafford's replacement. So you got somebody can fall to him. You got Miami, who might want to take a chance on a quarterback for the future.
I think what's his name?
And then the Chargers. Herbert. That's who one person. The Chargers might want to take a chance on a quarterback.
But they might trade down though, because they might take 2 at 6.
You never. That's what I'm saying. Because Phillip Rivers is not coming back to the Chargers next year. So,
but 2 is hurt though.
But you can take him. You can rehab him, and
maybe
you can sign a veteran.
Yeah, that's true.
You can sign a veteran.
That's true.
And you don't start 2 at first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only ideal situation. Because Jacksonville, I don't see them taking a quarterback. Cleveland,
they got
no.
Nick Foles.
And
Cleveland,
no.
Jets, no.
Oakland, no.
Probably not. Indianapolis, maybe.
Well, Jacoby didn't do too bad this year. I don't think Jacoby did that.
But
bad.
if 2 would fall to 13, you'd have to really consider that if you
would. Tampa Bay might.
Maybe.
It depends on the situation with Jameis. If they let go of famous Jameis, they might go ahead and take him. Tampa Bay, Denver. Then I don't think Denver either because I think they like their backup quarterback.
Drew Lock.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
it could a bunch of different situations could play out. So anyway, man, like I said, looking forward to the draft, and we always gonna be hyping my Redskins picking 2. I don't know where we're gonna go. I mean, I think we're gonna get Chase Young, but a bunch of craziness could happen. We could always trade down or do something. And we just hired Jack Del Rio as the coordinator too. I think that's a good move. I like that. I wasn't expecting it, but hey, whatever works. So that's
Skins making moves.
Yeah, man, we trying to. A correction from yesterday's show. You were right. Deontay Wilder is 42-0-1. I said 41-0-1. He's 42-0-1 with 41 knockouts, and the only 2 he did knock out were Stavern the first time, and he had the draw with Tyson Fury. And so I wanted to correct that. I was incorrect with that information and stuff. But last half of the show, we kind of wanted to take this joint in a little different direction. We were talking, I haven't really watched like a whole lot of boxing movies. I watched Ali, I watched Cinderella Man, and I've seen the I've seen all the Rocky movies except Rocky Balboa.
Million Dollar Baby was a good boxing movie.
I didn't see $1 Million Baby.
Sad as shit, but it was a good boxing movie.
Yeah, it was about the female boxer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't see $1 Million Baby, but Ali was great as far as I remember. Cinderella Man, I thought Cinderella Man was a really good movie, and that's about what's his name? James Braddock. He was the heavyweight champion. He beat who'd he beat? I don't remember. I think he beat Max Baer, if I'm not mistaken. And Baer had killed a guy before, and so it was just kind of how what's his name had come from poverty, and it was during the Depression, and you know he was able to win the heavyweight title, which was dope. You know, Braddock won the joint. They called him Cinderella Man, and joint was cool. And the Rocky movies, I didn't like Rocky 4. Rocky 4 was some ass to me, but and I didn't see Balboa, and then the 2 Creed movies. So those are my boxing movies that I've experienced watching and shit. And have you seen all them joints?
I've seen, besides Cinderella Man, I've seen every last single one of them. I've seen all the Rocky.
And you saw $1 Million Baby too. You know what I'm saying? So
I've seen a couple of other boxing movies, but I just forgot the name. I don't know the names of them for real. I gotta go back and look at them. I'll give it to you on the next show. But out of all the list that he said, I mean, Ali's probably my favorite. But I really do like.
Ali was a great movie. Will Smith did an excellent job.
He did. Will Smith did an excellent job. But I really do like $1 Million Baby. That's like a really good. Like I said, it's sad as shit, but it's a good movie for real. For good story.
Didn't she like hit the stool or something?
Yeah,
fall and hit the stool. Yeah, broke her neck.
So that it was a sad movie, but it was still. Man, it was still good. It was some good fight scenes in that joint, though. Good boxing matches.
I actually think I've seen parts of it. Like, I've watched it, like, going to sleep, but I've never seen the whole movie. Because I remember that scene where she broke her neck. And I think, I don't remember who the male actor was, but she was, like, trained by a male actor. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, I've,
and I also like Creed 2, but...
Creed 2.
Creed 2, yeah, and I like Creed 1 as well. But I did all the Rocky movies just to pinpoint them, because those are the most iconic boxing movies. And probably in boxing movie history, besides the Ali joint, I would have to just say Rocky 1, 2, and 3, which Rocky 3 was my favorite Rocky because of Clubber Lang. And I really loved it because of Clubber Lang.
I feel you.
Rocky 4, I enjoyed it a little bit, but at the same time, it was like, man, this shit is just stupid. Like,
it's all montage.
Yeah,
and it's propaganda. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit is weak.
Yeah, it was real weak. But another Rocky 5 I really didn't like.
I liked Rocky 5. I thought it was cool.
Didn't like Rocky 5 at all. I hated the street fight scenes.
Oh, yeah, I feel you. That shit was so fake.
Man, Balboa is just so...
I couldn't watch the joint. Like, I know Tarver was in it, like, and I remember being a kid and people being like, Balboa's good. I said, bro, this motherfucker's like 60 years old. Like, there's no way he could beat... Wait, what is this, George Foreman? Like, Brett and George Foreman was 45. Bro, like, there's no way. Like, come on.
Came to the ring off.
Bro, that shit was so unbelievable. Like, I could not dig the storyline. Hey, and the Creed 1 and 2 were dope. You know what I'm saying? And me and you've had discussions, for real. They could have gone about Creed in a different way. Like, I feel like they didn't even need Sylvester Stallone. I don't feel like they didn't even need him. Like, or maybe he could have had like small parts.
He could have
visited him in Philly or something.
Yeah, like a small joint, helped him out in Philly, and after that, just rolled out. And like, man, you remind me so much of your dad. And
it had a little scene like that, but he didn't even need to be in it. I don't remember the guy, but dude made a good YouTube video about it. Hey, we're on YouTube. You feel me? So shout out to YouTube. But dude made a good ass video about how like, if they had done it differently, they could have had one of Apollo's guys, you know what I'm saying, come in and train his son and just kind of go through that whole dynamic and everything.
And I said that should have been Apollo's main man. But I don't know if he's still alive or not, but if he is no way that they should not have not included this guy into the Creed movies. He should have been Creed's trainer. He should have been the one that Rocky actually introduced him to. Should be like, you know what? I'm going to help you, but this is the guy that you really should be. He knows your dad the best. He knows your dad. He's been with your dad forever. Like, this is the guy that you want to be with, and that should have been the whole dynamic of him and if it was gonna be a trainer like thing, should have been him and Adonis instead of Adonis and Rocky.
See, the one thing though is you know, in the Creed movie, the guy I forget the actor's name, Woody Harris. He plays Apollo's son, Apollo's trainer's son. So I actually think the actor's still alive. I could be mistaken, but I think the guy who played Apollo's trainer
in a movie.
They were saying his assistant though, like a guy who was wasn't shown in the first movies, have him come and kind of embrace Creed as his own. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yeah, you're gonna be my fighter. Like we're gonna get there. Like that's what the guy was saying on the YouTube video.
What it took, it would either be the father or Woody Harrelson. It would
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
It would either been that for me, and then Rocky could have been like maybe a tag along, but it would have been them two for real because. It's just, I mean, having Rocky is just so cliche, man. It's just so fucking cliche. Oh, me and your dad fought twice, and now your dad helped me train, you know. I was in your dad's corner when he passed, now I'm going to help you train. Like, fuck out of here.
No, I feel you 100%, man. Like, I think that shit was really whack. They could have, it wasn't whack, but they could have gone in a different direction. I feel like it would have been better. So anyway, out of the two Creed movies, which one was your favorite?
Creed 1.
You like Creed 1?
Yeah, I love Creed 1.
I actually like Creed 2 better. I mean, I feel like the story going in, I thought the story was so cliche of, we got Apollo's son fighting Ivan Drago's son. You know, we're going to bring them together and do this rematch because, you know, Ivan Drago had killed Apollo in Rocky 4, which is one of the reasons I hated Rocky 4, by the way. But
because once again, they fucking got the order of the movies wrong. Because if you're going to do Creed 1, why not do Creed 1? Why not do Creed 2 first and then do Creed 1 second? You got, because he's already trying to, so you got Adonis trying to like figure out who his dad was at the same time. He doesn't want to be seen as Apollo's kid.
Have him as two up and comers, they can fight each other.
And then
that would have been great.
Backstory is like, oh, you know, my dad fought your dad before. Okay, so what? And my dad was gonna kill your dad. Boom, right there. So now that connect that Adonis is like missing with his dad, now sort of he's gonna have that connection. I remember in the second Creed, I believe it was either the first one or the second one. I believe it was the first one. He was falling down. He was actually having flashbacks of Apollo fighting.
I think that was in the first one.
That was the first one. He was having flashbacks of Apollo fighting, and I think it was a flashback of Apollo falling in a fight with versus Drago. Why would you not have that as why would that be in the first movie and not be in the second movie? Because if it was in the second movie too, that was stupid. Because you should have had the second movie, the first movie, and that joint would have been tight for her. I think that joint would have been tight. Because get the cliche shit out the way, do that right there, and then the second one, the first movie being the second one, where that champion, when he was coming up, and that champion dude who was whatever, he was a champion about to go to jail. I would have had that. I would have had it like that because now he gets his title shot. Yeah, he's coming up now. Why would you put him into a title shot the first movie, and then he doesn't even get the belt? But after in the second movie, he got the belt and he lost it to Drago. Why not them Drago and him be up and comers? They fight. Boom. Drago beats him up so bad the first time that it's like, man, the fight's called off. Drago, whatever, is disqualified. I guess, whatever. He got disqualified. He got disqualified. So there you go. Boom. That's out the way. And then running back, and that would be tight. And that with Adonis winning. Yes. I binged my dad right
and
there.
And then we can move to the second one. Now we can move
to the second one where he's in the rankings. Now he's moving up. Oh, I'm about to fight this guy for the belt. And instead of the guy winning before he went to jail, I would have Adonis win the belt. And the dude it was a payday for that guy because he wanted to get his family straight before he went to jail. It was a payday for him. So it was set in stone like that. I would have had to do it like that. Instead of Adonis losing that first fight in the first movie, I would have had him win it in the second movie. That's how I would have did it. I just think that Rocky this franchise should be so, like, the franchise is tight in itself, but the way they did a movie is stupid because I would never have Rocky 4 or Rocky 5.
Yeah.
just wouldn't have had them.
Yeah, I think they should. Or
They
Balboa.
would just fill it. Yeah, I wouldn't have Balboa.
Delete them last three.
Get that shit out of here. I wouldn't even have Balboa. Get that shit out of here.
And Rocky 1, 2, and 3 were good. I hated the way Rocky 2 ended, though, where both of them fell and they got up and shit. Like, that shit. Because why would they count Rocky out, though? If Apollo fell and Rocky slipped, why would they be counting both? That makes no sense at all. But Rocky 2 was dope. But like you were saying about how you probably put Creed 2 before Creed 1, we talked about before. And Rocky 1 was good in its place. Take Rocky 3 and make that Rocky 2.
That should have been Rocky 2.
And then Rocky 2 make it 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you could have had oh, he lost to Apollo in the first one. All right,
yes.
Cool. Now the second one, Apollo is about to fight Clubber Lang. And Apollo loses to Clubber Lang.
Yes.
He lost the belt. So now you got Rocky coming up, and he's going
to
fight.
And then Apollo, and then Clubber Lang beats Rocky and shit.
Beats Rocky the first time, and now Apollo
trains him,
and then all right, boom. He beats Clubber Lang and he's a champ.
Yes.
Now, instead of Apollo in the second one coming as a champion, Rocky's coming in as a champion.
Yes, correct.
So let me get that
he's
rematch.
giving him his rematch. Yep. That would be so dope. That would have been dope. And that Rocky 3 could have been about just the rematch.
Yeah, and whatever y'all want to end it, you can either have Apollo win or have Rocky win, or you can have a draw. Whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, whatever. A draw would have been a good...
Actually, a draw would have been tight because in Rocky 3... They was like at the end of the joint, it was like, so Apollo, we never got that rematch, remember? And now they can do that.
That would have been dope. That would have been dope if it was a draw.
Son,
so Rocky could keep the belt, but Apollo doesn't end up with a loss. And so, you know what I'm saying? So Apollo actually won the first one, and they had a draw on the rematch. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be really cool. That would have been a dope.
And then they can have their last montage scene that they had in the Rocky 3 joint. They can be like, so Apollo, like, you never got that rematch. You know,
oh, we ended a draw?
Yeah,
let's run 3 more rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Ding. All right.
Yeah.
Boom. End of it right there.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Such and such years later.
Creed came years later.
Yeah, Creed came later.
Yeah.
But no, we can't because we have to have, in order to have Creed 2 be Creed 1, we gotta have
We'd have to change it around though. Instead, we could have had Apollo die later. So you know what I'm saying? Maybe Adonis could have been like one of his last kids, and so he was there part of his life, but not really. Then he passed away.
I know it sucks, but I don't want Balboa or Rocky 5. I don't want Rocky 4 either. But to set up for a Creed, I gotta have Rocky 4. I would not do it the propaganda way though. I'm not doing it that way. I'm not doing none of that propaganda.
Yeah, can we change this shit around?
We are gonna change it around.
Like Rocky, Sylvester Stallone goes to Russia on Christmas and fights him for free. What?
We ain't doing that.
What the fuck is?
I'm not doing it.
I remember watching as a kid. I thought it was cool. Like I was like, all right, it makes sense. When I watched it as an adult, I'm like, bro, this shit is stupid. Like this shit makes no sense.
And I'm not doing it. So what's gonna happen is we will have it go the same way. Okay, Rocky's a champion. We got this new fighter from Russia, Ivan Drago. So this is the first time USSR coming over fighting in the States. Okay, cool, boom, got you. Now Apollo's doing an expedition match. Apollo dies in expedition match. Same way, that happened same way. Instead of all that cheesy ass shit that they were doing, we're going to change it up and they'll boom box like that. I guess like Rocky fights in the first time Rocky loses, then Rocky goes over there and he trains and shit. Well, no, he's not going over there.
He didn't lose.
Oh, he didn't lose at all. So Rocky's not even going over to Russia to fight. Drago's coming over.
Yeah.
We're going to train. They're going to have the filler shit that they had in between, whatever that stuff. But instead of all that propaganda shit, we're going to have a fight in the States, not in a fight in
and that whack-ass speech at the end.
That speech is...
Rocky 4 was the worst.
Rocky wasn't even that intelligent to be making speeches.
After he just got beat, was fighting 15 rounds, you think he's going to make some...
Couldn't even read a fucking
Get the fuck out of here.
For a commercial. So how the fuck you think he's going to make a big-ass speech like that?
Hey, I feel that. I feel that 100%. Kind of switching, kind of along the same gears, and we're in the last 10 minutes of the show. I did want to mention that, what's his name? Joshua was saying that he thinks he can knock Wilder out in 6 rounds.
See how he
Boy, stop
it. You couldn't even beat Andy Ruiz the first time, and you ran for him the second time.
It took you 12 rounds, man. You're gonna knock Wilder out 6 rounds. Boy, stop. You tripping. And on January 11th, is a good fight. Jesse Hart, he's gonna be fighting Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. last lost to Bivol in early 2018, and Jesse Hart fought not that long ago. Or I said 2019. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm getting the dates mixed up. But Joe Smith Jr. lost to Bivol in early 2019, and fucking Jesse Hart, he fought sometime not that long ago, but they're going to be fighting on January 11th. So, should be a good fight and everything. Jesse Hart's probably the favorite. He's only lost twice. He lost to, what's his name? Gilberto Ramirez. And I really like Gilberto Ramirez because of the beast. But anyway, should be pretty interesting. Like I said, I think Hart's probably going to be the favorite going in. Should win that joint, but you never know. Joe Smith Jr., he's a good fighter.
Should be a good fight. Before January 11th, though, January 10th, my girl Clarissa Shields fighting.
Oh, yep, that Friday. Yep, on Showtime.
Fight. That's going to be a good fucking fight.
And the Jesse Hart, Joe Smith joint is going to be on ESPN, regular ESPN. So, should be dope. So, Showtime, January 10th, my man's birthday. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be turning up. Clarissa Shields fights, and then the next day on ESPN is Jesse Hart and Joe Smith Jr. So, the last 10 minutes of the show, just want to discuss. We probably not going to be able to get all our thoughts out on it for real. But we talking about boxing games. And, you know, I really didn't play like Knockout Kings. That was a little bit before my time. But the series that I really loved was Fight Night. Particularly Fight Night 2004. I didn't really like round 2 because I feel like it was too haymaker reliant. Whereas round 3, they changed it up a little bit. And the haymakers became like, they was real slow. You could throw them, but they was like real slow. And I didn't like round 4 because you can only play with the analog. I like to use the buttons. I'm a button player myself. And then Fight Night Champion, I'm still trying to get it down pat. I mean, I feel like I'm good. I can play the computer, but I've lost online and shit. But hey, I loved Fight Night 2004. That wasn't the greatest fucking game ever, dog. Like, son, that was the greatest boxing game, son. Like, I love that joint. Like, I don't know. I love. There were certain things that I wish you could, that they addressed later in the series, but it seemed like it kind of regressed a little bit. I love the fluidity, like, of the fights. I didn't like that when you blocked, you had to stay still. I mean, you shouldn't be stationary when you block. I didn't like that, but. Man, for the most part, though, that joint was sick. And you couldn't clinch on that joint either. Those were the only two things. And maybe, like, some of the ring spacing, for real, they could have worked out. But everything else, son, like, the punches and everything was so fluid. I loved using the buttons and everything. Like, you want to throw uppercut or you want to throw jabs. Like, it was a really great game. I really loved that. And so, I feel like if they were to make another boxing game, which they probably won't until, like, 2022, if they're not working on it now, some things I feel like you should use some things off Fight Night 2004, Fight Night Round 3, and Fight Night Champion. I feel like all three of those have good qualities that you can base a great boxing game off of.
That's true, they do, but you got to improve on those qualities, though, because it is 2020 now. So you got to be able to improve on those qualities. And if they can stick to that trend of those qualities, because Fight Night 2004 actually was pretty fucking amazing.
And, that'd be the main. Yeah, this is the main joints, but I feel like there are elements from round 3 in Champion.
But Fight Night Champions, though, that joint is actually pretty tight. Even though I don't like playing it because I don't know how to play it yet, but it's a pretty vicious game. You can clinch, you can move on the block. The ring is open to you. It's kind of like a free movement for real in that joint. I actually like it. It's just and I mean it's kind of like real boxing though. That shit is tight. You can't just go in there and knock somebody out like in the first probably like 30 seconds like you can probably do on Fight Night
2004.
2004. But nah, you can't do that joint there. And I like that about it. Like you said, like John said, 2022 probably be, but we have it's hope inside that. It's hope inside that boxing game coming back. You got EA Chicago, who used to work on the Fight Night series, just reopened. So, I mean, come on. You never know what's going to happen. And then have been other boxers that have been talking about boxing video games. You know, I believe Deontay Wilder said something
Clarissa
about
Shields
it. Shields has said something
there is a round-for-round boxing they're working on, which is different than
I believe they asked Andy Ruiz about it as
well. They were saying Mercer's going to be on that joint, the round-for-round joint. So, Should be interesting to see. I was going to suggest though, and I was going to say some examples of the three games of 2004 Fight Night Round 3 and Fight Night Champion. For instance, like I said, of 2004, I love the fluidity of the punches in that joint. Like I feel like they had that shit down pat. In the career mode, I love the popularity meter in Fight Night Round 3. I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's an important aspect because not only is boxing about fighting, but it's about selling yourself. And so it's good to know like where you rank, like where you stack up, how popular you are. I think that's great in a career mode to have. I like that you can fight as an amateur in round 3 and Fight Night Champion. I like that. I like those aspects of it. I wish there was a longer amateur career. Like I wish you could have a decorated ass amateur career and you could fight in the Olympics and all that shit. But and the thing I like the movement in Fight Night Champion though. Like you were saying, I love the movement. I love the clinching. You know what I'm saying? I love to be able to block and move. Like, I feel like they got that shit down pat. On Champion, though, they got rid of the haymaker. So you got to press R2 when you're throwing a power punch. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying remove that, but I kind of feel like it should be like Fight Night 2004, where you have a signature punch, but you don't have a power punch per se. Like it's just about beating the guy up. You can't hit him. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could put a haymaker, but I feel like it needs to be better though. Because I really like 2004. So I feel like if you mix those three and take certain qualities from each one, and obviously you want the graphics of 2020, 2022 hypothetically. You want those graphics, you want the cuts and everything to be dope. But I feel like if you took elements of those three, you could make a great fucking boxing game. And man, I miss that shit. And it's cool playing Fight Night Champion, but man, I want a new joint. I want a new one because, hey, man, I'll be beating some ass in that joint. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I take losses too, though. I play twice online. Got my motherfucking ass beat. But I don't know how to get up on that joint. On 04, in round 3, I got the automatic joint. Like, they get up for you and shit. Like, that's what I like. Man, fuck that shit. I can't be matching the shit up together. Like, nah, just get up for me. Y'all know how to do that shit. But how you feel about that, though? Like taking elements of each one. Like, you think they could come up with, like, a really good game?
Oh, no, they are. I already know. I got confidence that they will. They've done it before. I got confidence in EA to do it. One thing EA is known for is making sports games. Whenever they venture out of sports games, they really... because Battlefield was okay, but Battlefield had his ups and downs, and whenever they stick to sports games, they do an excellent job. Besides live, they do an excellent job. But,
man, it's crazy how 2K
beat boxing though, fighting games is EA's thing, and fighting when it comes to boxing games, they are king.
Man, I wish they had us in these meetings though, man. Son, I'm reaching out to EA. If EA was ever listening, dog. If y'all invited me to a meeting and it was like, what are your ideas for a boxing game? Son, I would come up with a whole PowerPoint presentation. I would write down notes of each game, why I think they're vicious. Like, dress up in a suit and all that shit. Like, hello, my name is Johnny Amberger, and I would have a little PowerPoint presentation going over each feature, and what I think would sell in a game, and what I think would work. And it's just my opinion, or just our opinion, discussing this, but, man, it could make a quality ass game.
Man, they are.
Man, hope so, man. Hope so. But Fight Night 2004, of the series, in my opinion, that was the best one. For whatever flaws it had, that joint was so sick. I love that joint. I just love the fighting in that joint. Dog, that shit is real. Not real, but son, that joint is official, son. I feel like they cut too easy in that joint, though. Man must be
Fight Night 2004 is tight. That joint.
Man must be bleeding like shit in that joint, though.
I'm gonna say it's vicious. It's a classic game, but man, real fighting champions. I gotta give champions that because that shit look like. The movement on Champions.
Yeah, it's way better. It's way better.
Fight Night 2004 is a classic game.
Yeah, man, Fight Night 2004. Man, I love that joint. Man, I actually I had it when I was a kid, but I lost it or someone stole it. I don't know. I wasn't really that good at it. But I got it in 2017. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm in the mood for a boxing game. I needs me a boxing game. So I was like, fuck, I love Fight Night 2004. Let me go get that joint. As good as I remembered. Even better than I remembered. You know what I'm saying? I just love that fucking game. That game was off the motherfucking heezy. But anyway, All right, well, that was pretty much the show, J&J Boxing. Did you have anything you want to add about AEW, about, you know what I'm saying, about NXT?
No, we good. Let's do this thing.
Anything? All right, that's about. Well, y'all, man, make sure to have a good 2020. We all gotta go back to fucking work tomorrow, unfortunately. But we had a good time turning up.
I am off.
He's off. Yeah, lucky him. My ass gotta go back to work, unfortunately. So, anyway, like I said, we bringing y'all content like we dropping Lil Wayne mixtapes. We gonna try to be here on Saturday. I think it would be dope to be here on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? 4 shows in a week. Fuck it. We out here. We doing it. You know what I'm saying? We working hard. So, make sure to stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Jordan, close the show out, man. Tell them.
Make sure y'all hit that bell up at the top and be notified for the show. Be on the lookout for stuff. We're about to be coming out with major content coming up soon. We will improve our production. We will try to get everything in order so we can be more serious with this. We're trying to take it serious, and we're going to bring more exposure to the boxing community, especially the boxing community in our own area. The DC metro area is known for boxing, and it's
we got a small little boxing scene in this area.
I'm gonna say the state of Maryland is actually known for boxing. They have produced some rich boxers, some good boxing. Like you got up in Baltimore, they got some legendary boxers up there, especially in Pittsburgh County in DC. You have legendary
and you know
boxers.
Sugar Ray Leonard, obviously.
So we got some great boxing coming on in 2020 as well. So just be on the lookout for all the matches. Keep posted. Just keep on supporting the community.
Winky Wright was from DC. I'm just
keep on supporting the community, please. And we're gonna try to do our best to help y'all stay connected. So yeah, we'll see y'all later, man.
Be here with us and keep your guard up.
See y'all Saturday, man.